So today's session is gonna be about candlesticks, and the first thing in candlesticks we will be learning about OHLC, OLHC. That's how candlestick forms basically. Each and every candlestick you see either bullish up close OLHC candle, open low high close candle, either bearish down close OHLC, open high low close candle. Okay, bullish candle forms open low high close, bullish up close, you can say whatever. Bearish candle forms open high then low close. So each and every candle forms this way. That's how candlestick forms. uh, we wanna be participating in higher time frame candles while aligning them with their profile, whether OHLC or OLHC. How do I personally align? That's what the mentorship was about, but this session is for everyone, just for an overview, because this is very insightful session. It took me around 5-6 hours to prepare this. Okay, this is clear, very simple. Only two types of candlesticks, bullish or bearish. Bullish, so open low high close. Bearish, so open high low close. When bullish, you anticipate open low high close, I just talked about. You want high resistance, established low or protected low to be made below opening price. I taught protected low, which is same word for established low, and I taught high resistance in the previous sessions of mentorship. So you should rewatch them if you still have doubts. But there's a reason I covered them before this session. माइक हिल गया हो मेरा, ठीक भी हो गया हो, बच गया, ha ha. Now you wanna see high resistance, or you can say protected low, established low to be made below opening price. Open low, relevant level, protected low forming there, and you want to see price displacing away from it. So you can tell yourself the high time frame candle is most likely forming open low high close. So I wanna be in alignment with that high time frame candles profile, which is open low high close. So I wanna frame bullish entries from there. Vice versa for bearish, you wanna see high resistance or protected high, established high to be made above opening price. Here it was below opening price. Open here, protected low forming below opening price, and then price displacing away. So OLHC, open low high close. Here protected high, high resistance, established high to be made above opening price. Here opening price made above opening price, then confirming OHLC, price displacing away. So you wanna tell yourself, or you can get an idea that how the high time frame candle is forming. It is most likely forming OHLC, open high low close candle. So you wanna be in alignment with that high time frame candles profile. So you wanna be ideally framing shorts or sell continuation setups lower. This thing is clear till now. मेंशन बजा, मेरे को नोटिफिकेशन क्यों नहीं आती? मैंने ना मार चलानी है अपने लैपटॉप को या तुम सबको? थोड़ा साउंड कम है यूडी भाई यार, इनको वो बताओ ना, हैकर क्या चक्कर है? Okay, so how I basically, my model is aligning high time frame OLHC candles with lower time frame MMXM. Like high time frame bullish candles, OLHC candle, aligning them with lower time frame MMBM. I just taught MMBM in the previous session, gave everyone in the mentorship about 1 week to get their hand over it, post examples, study my examples. So then aligning this MMBM knowledge with now, which I am about to teach, OLHC knowledge. That's my model. That's my model basically. That okay. So to me, how do I frame my entries? Not just based by MMXM, not just based by OHLC. My entries are based aligning them both, OHLC logic plus MMXM logic, vice versa here, MMBM logic plus OLHC logic. And to me, When I'm framing market maker buy model or bullish, I wanna align OLHC with MMBM and two types of lows which give me entries which are backed by high time frame candles and aligned with MMBM that give me my entry. That will be taught in like a week because entries part is ordered later in the mentorship because you would need to have a clear understanding of OHLC or candlestick formations first. Only then you would be able to understand those. But I'm just giving an overview of what will be taught next. But this session would be about OHLC. 80-90% things will be covered in this. So seeing this open low, see price open high time frame candle open here, open low, forming high resistance below opening price, displacing away from it. So OLHC candidate, OLHC candle formation, moving away from that. So you wanna frame bullish continuation setups. Okay. So next candle, open low, high resistance below relevant swing, displacing away from it. You wanna frame bullish continuation setups. Why? Aligning this with the ideal candlestick formation, which is OLHC at that moment and not OHLC. OLHC is bullish, right? Forming high resistance below opening price, displacing away from it. You frame bullish continuation setups, which are or is in alignment with the high time frame candle formation, high time frame candles profile, which is OLHC. Vice versa here. Open high into relevant POI, immediate displacement away from it. So you can get an idea of OHLC formation that the high time frame candle is most likely forming OHLC. So you frame bearish continuation setups. Highs will reject price in bearish order flow, lows will reject price in bullish order flow. Just the previous session, exam, I taught this very deeply, right? And the next candle opens here, the first candle opens here, next candle forms OHLC again, hits relevant POI, immediately moves away. So established high aligned with high time frame candle. So OHLC formation most likely. So you frame bearish continuation setups. This much is clear. Now we can read this established price swing or protected price swing. Price swing formed from relevant level and backed by high time frame candle. This second line won't make much sense now until I talk about EQ logic and entries part. Just read or try to understand the first line price swing formed from relevant level. Relevant level, relevant level. This backed by high time frame candle. This won't make much sense. This would make much sense only for this, not for this. I will teach the teach these in later sessions, but just this for now. Established price swing. This low is low of the candle most likely. So price displacing away from it. You want to frame entries away from it. Away from it. Can't trust this as an established swing as a protected swing. You want to frame towards unprotected liquidity and you want to frame away from protected liquidity. High resistance to low resistance basically. This much is clear, I guess. So then I will move to next slide. Okay, next slide मैं भूल गया. You don't need to worry much about this slide. I'm just telling you because you people will get doubts after the sessions. So I'm just giving you this for the sake of it so that you people don't get confused. And this case also happens. That's why I'm explaining this as well. But this will be talked or explained in depth in the upcoming sessions. So price forms unprotected lows as the low of high time frame candles as well. What to do when price doesn't form an established high or low of the high time frame candle? We talked about this here. Moving or trading away from the established high or low of the candle, right? established low of the candle, established low of the candle, established high, high of the candle, this, this. But what to do when price doesn't form or it doesn't look an established high to you? I still do participate. How do I participate? I will teach it later, but just for the sake of the schematic, I am showing you here. This blue mark low, blue mark low is the high here and low here of the high time frame candle. This high time frame candle doesn't form an established low, doesn't look like an established low, but how you can still frame it? You wanna see clear displacement away from it. How were we framing it here? Formation of an established low followed by what? Formation of an established low followed by a displacement away from it. Only after price displaces away, then you frame continuation legs, right? You will use the same logic here. Only after price displaces away from high or low of the candle, be it unestablished as well, you then frame the continuation away from it using exam. This same logic we used here, same logic even when price forms unestablished high of the candle. You ideally don't want to frame away from unestablished highs, but these scenarios are also there like 20% of the time. So just for you people, so that you people don't get confused, I do still frame continuation legs away from an unestablished high or low of an high time frame candle. This looks like OLHC but without an unestablished low, but I will still frame it because I can see this is an OLHC candlestick formation. It's just that I can't trust this low, so I will wait for price to displace away from it, showing me price gonna really move away from it, then frame continuation legs aligning with OLHC or high time frame candles profile, vice versa here. Can't trust this high because not an established high of an high time frame candle price, but price displaces away from it, forms an continuation leg. I can frame it here trusting this high to hold because price is moving away from it, and this is being aligned with exam logic. High is rejecting price lower and price displacing away from it. If this slide doesn't make much sense to you, it's okay. This will be explained in much deep sense later in the mentorship. The main slide was this. So should I move to the next slide, which is the main one, I will say. It took me अभी लास्ट वाली स्लाइड तो देखी नहीं आपने सर. Okay, so now let's move on to the main slide. This basic, the overview slide was clear. If yes, then I will move to the main slide now. I guess so it's clear. Okay, now comes the main part. How do I actually frame OLHC or OHLC? I use a three time frame approach, which is basically a catching a high time frame OLHC or OHLC and aligning it with lower time frame exam. Yes, but I do add in an intermediate time frame for much accuracy, for much clarity of my idea. Now how do I do this? But first let's talk about high time frame, intermediate and lower time frame. Let's say your high time frame is daily candle. You are framing daily candles, OHLC or OLHC. Okay, let's say this is a daily candle. You wanna frame daily candles OLHC. You wanna frame a bullish daily candle, right? So you wanna be in alignment of daily candles direction, which is OLHC, so bullish. So your high time frame is daily. Daily is the singular candlestick you are framing. Then your intermediate time frames will be one or two time frame, whichever suits the best. One or two time frame lower than this, which would be daily to then hourly. Could be H1, could be H4, whichever suits. So I will confirm this high time frame candle formation on this intermediate time frame. Sometimes I can, but very rare, 10% or maybe 5% time I can take entries directly on intermediate time frame, but 90% or I will say 95% of the time I use intermediate time frame for confirmation of my high time frame idea. High time frame tells me this singular candle should form OLHC or bullish. I confirm it with intermediate time frame structure, which is this. Like suppose this is an 4 hour candle or daily candle. Suppose this is daily candle. So I will confirm this formation, OLHC formation, with intermediate time frame ITF, which would be 1 or 2 time frames lower than this time frame, whichever suits the best, to watch out for OLHC, open low price forming a established or protected swing at a relevant POI, moving away from it. So I can tell myself this is most likely forming open low into a POI, moving away. So I can frame lower time frame MMBM just by seeing this, right? I then frame this intermediate time frame OLHC because the high time frame OLHC is much more validated at that point. So framing this OLHC on the intermediate time frame is much more probable at that point. That's basically my model. And then let's talk about the deeper intermediate time frame. I then align it with 1 or 2 time frames lower than this, just as I did for this orally. So I will use minutes time frame, could be M15, could be M5, could be M3, could be M1 sometimes, whichever suits the best, right? Whichever. Like used daily candles OHLC will use 1 or 2 time frames lower for the intermediate time frame confirmation or better structure. Oh, इसकी line कहाँ गई? अब ठीक है. For the confirmation of high time frame candles profile, OLHC or OHLC. Once the high time frame candles profile is clear to me, okay, the daily candle is most likely forming OLHC or it is most likely forming OHLC. Then I wanna be in alignment of that high time frame candles profile. Frame bullish continuation setups. How do I frame that? By low time frame MMXM. If bullish, then frame low time frame MMBM. If bearish, then frame low time frame MMSM. I did teach MMXM in too much depth in the previous session, so I don't expect you people having doubts on that. And I did give 1 week's break as well. So this intermediate time frame approach aligned with high time frame and low time frame makes a bit more sense. Now let's go over this low time frame as well. Let's see this as well. High time frame, like using phases of price delivery and relevant swings, you people are able to frame high time frame candles expansion on high time frame, right? This was the first task, and then you people are now much more comfortable with framing high time frame candles on the high time frame. What am I saying? Candles on the high time frame expanding towards an objective after a relevant level is it, like using phases of price delivery, retracement, reversal, anything. Relevant swing is hit, price forms manipulation, anything. So you people are able to frame these high time frame candles on the high time frame, which was the first task, if you remember, right? First task or first session in the mentorship. Now, how do we actually participate in these candles towards objective? Confirming this idea on the intermediate time frame and then shifting over low time frame for entries. Now, this candle should form OLHC. Why? This candle hit the relevant level, showed rejection or manipulation away from it. So you want to frame expansion towards objective. Okay, so you have an OLHC expectation for a high time frame candle. So you want to align this idea with this candle's low time frame daily candle expectation. So you want to use M30, M15, H1, H4, whichever suits the best. I mainly use H1 and H4 for daily. Sometimes M30, M15 as well, but mainly. So high time frame candle opens here, open, not an established low formed for me, so I would wait. Once established lows criteria formed, price displaces away from it. I can then look for entries in this candle. Like here, this is where price, this candle is open, right? Open, no established low. Established low formed here, low of the candle, low of the candle. Price forms established low, protected low, moves away from it. SMR, low risk buy or propulsion block entry, you can say. Then intermediate term high or first stage. The people who have learned exam from me would be able to frame this because they know this high time frame candle is an OLHC candle, and framing, even though you didn't know this approach, intermediate time frame, just using high time frame and lower time frame directly, not even including this, you people would have been able to frame this high time frame OLHC using just this, framing this entry, right? Closer over here, first stage entry. Okay, nice. Then the next candle you have the same expectation because the draw is not met. So OLHC expectation, confirming it with intermediate time frame for better clarity. Open low, but not a relevant low to me, not a protected low. Neither a relevant swing is it, neither an established low is formed in this candle. So I cannot say this candle is an OLHC as of now. Once this candle hits the relevant level and displaces away, I can tell myself this is an OLHC formation for this high time frame. Then refining this to lower time frame to frame this candle, or even can look for entries in this candle, depends. Now opening here, opening here, open low, but mm, uh, doesn't displace away from it, tags a relevant low, displaces away from it, forms continuation leg. Why this continuation leg is much more probable? Because this is in alignment with the high time frame candles profile. Open low high close. So high time frame candle, singular candle is forming most likely open low high close or bullish or up close candle. So this entry even on the low time frame makes much more sense or is much more probable because this is in alignment with high time frame candles profile. So intermediate term low kind of entry, or you can say low risk sell, first stage, second stage. Again, continuation entries in alignment with high time frame candle formation. This slide may confuse you, but watching this over time and over again, this will this would make much more sense. I have 2 3 examples as well, but just tell me if you got a bit of an idea. I have 2 3 examples to give as well. पानी पीने दो मेरे को भाई, माइक नहीं हिलना चाहिए बस, प्लीज माइक मत हिलना। हाँ शाबाश। ब्यूटी भाई यार, सुबह जब से वो कंजके पूछी है 10 11 बजे से बैठा हूँ यार, इतनी गालियां पड़ी हैं आज। बैठा ही हुआ है, तब से बैठा ही हुआ है, और मेरे को था आज जैसे तैसे करके आज कंप्लीट करना है, कल रिकैप्स पे जाएंगे। तो मैं उठा ही नहीं, इतनी नींद आ रही है ना, क्या बोलूं। चलो लेट्स कंटिन्यू। Let me know if I should go over this once again, or if I should go over the examples directly. I should uh, use this for another time frame. I should tell you for another time frame as well. I basically on an everyday basis, I I keep giving hints on my main approach every day, but be I basically frame daily candles OLHC and H4 candles OHLC, either one of them on an everyday basis. That's what I am doing with my approach, obviously. Either I am framing daily or OLHC, OHLC, either I am framing H4. Basically framing daily or H4 candles to an objective. This objective is necessary for me, not just any random H4 candle or daily. So if H4 candle is what I am framing, H4 candle is my higher time frame, then what would be the intermediate time frame for H4? Time frames lower than H4, right? Could be H1, could be M30, could be M15, right? Time frames lower than H4 for intermediate time frames. And I do sometimes, rarely, but sometimes, like 5% of the time, if the stop loss is enough for me, I do take directly entries on intermediate time frame. But intermediate time frames most of the time don't give me too less of a stop loss, so that's why I use lower time frame as well. But this case is very rare that I framed entries directly on intermediate time frame, but yes, it is there. So when the idea of H4 candle formation, same as here, open low high close expectation for H4 candle, price forms this structure, boom 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 in the H4 candle on this intermediate time frame. I then frame intermediate time frame candles towards the objective. Framing this intermediate candles away from current high time frame candles low when bullish or high when bearish is my approach basically. So I then frame this candle, this candle's OLHC the same way. I frame for this candle's OLHC open low high close, and sometimes I do frame this candle as well, open low high close. How do I frame this? Vice versa, same way. But when the intermediate time frame is H1, M30, M1, M15, I would use low time frames like M5, M3, and M1. And you would have seen most of my entries on M5, M3, or M1 mainly. M15 rare. Main all my entries, most of my entries are M5, M3, M1 because that's what I do on a daily basis. And this, for the people who haven't learned or watched my exam session, this would confuse them. But for the people who have watched my exam session, this would be okay for them. The blue marked lows are the lows of this higher time frame candle. Price displacing away from them. So you have already an idea of high time frame candle being in alignment with your MMBM logic. So lower time frame exam aligned with high time frame OLHC. You then frame continuation entries in the same direction, being in alignment with high time frame candle profile. That's why these entries, low time frame exam aligned with high time frame OLHC, is a much better approach, or for a higher accuracy, I will say. That's what worked for me. So this is clear. If yes, then I will move towards examples. I will not show low time frame because I have gone over multiple examples showing low time frame exam. So I would frame just high time frame and intermediate time frame because framing intermediate time frame is new thing for you people, right? You people would have been framing high time frame directly with lower time frame, so you people would have been comfortable or okay with doing or framing low time frame exam till now for the people who are already in the mentorship. So I won't go over low time frame because it would make the session much larger, I will say. I would just frame high time frame and intermediate time frame, and I would frame daily and H4 as a high time frame, and I would show you how I would frame intermediate time frame based on the respective higher time frame, because that's what I do. I frame daily or H4 candles on a daily basis towards the objective. So let's go. Just give me 2 minutes. Blacked out. Again. यार 7 बजे यार। चलो let's go. Okay, let's hop over to examples. This was 1 2 3 4. This was daily h4 h4. Okay, I had much examples marked ahead, but I would be comfortable framing them, but these would confuse you people. That's why I used more simple, often simple examples, I would say. Obviously hindsight, but you people that know me, you people know I frame the exact way which I will be showing. Okay, let's hop over to daily here. If you people can see, hits a relevant swing, displaces back inside the range. So can think of reversal or retracement back inside the range, right? Relevant swing, manipulation of that swing. So next daily candle तू भी sure ना यार, तू भी sure. Framing the तू भी sure. Framing the next daily candles OLHC, right? One singular candles profile, open low high close or open high low close. That's what you need. But higher time frame candles, not 1 2 minute. So Monday, Monday you have a bit of an expectation of an OLHC candle, but that is confirmed by what? Confirmed by intermediate time frame, right? You have high time frame expectation, OLHC, right? Daily. Which time frames would you use? 1 or 2 time frame. Lower than that, H4, H1. Sometimes you can even use 30 minute, whichever suits you the better. But I mainly use H1 and H4. So going on the H1, price hit the relevant swing, immediately displaced back inside. So for the mentorship or mentee, is this looks like a reversal, right? Expansion into an objective, immediate back in expansion back inside the range. So this looks like a reversal, right? Now next day's daily profile would confirm that idea. मेरे को 1 सेकंड दो, मैं इंडिकेटर ऑन करना भूल जाऊंगा. ठीक, चलो. And a clear relevant swing resting, right? Relevant swing was taught as well, that too in depth. Each and everything which I personally use, इसको करते हैं off. So next day opened, no established low for the next day. 6 p.m. is when a day opens. no established low. So can you trust it? I can't. So still waiting for an established or protected low for the daily candle to be formed, because I am framing daily candle, daily OHLC or daily OLHC, but whichever. Now price hits a relevant swing, displaces away from it, right? It's a relevant swing, displaces away from it. So a candidate of what? Open, low, high resistance or established swing forming below opening price into a relevant level and price displacing away from it. So intermediate time frame structure was aligned for me here. This is an intermediate time frame for daily's high time frame candle. So I can then frame next intermediate time frame candles, which would be what? Hourly candle 11 a.m. OLHC. I wouldn't go to the lower time frame for framing, as it would make the session much longer, but yes, this makes sense. So intermediate time frame structure aligns and you then frame to the opposing side. Open, low, displacing away from it, right? You can trust this low from the intermediate time frame structure. Price forming high resistance below opening price here, this dotted line, relevant level, key level hit, price forming established or protected low below it, displacing away from it. Can trust this. Then framing continuation legs on the lower time frame aligning with higher time frame candle profile, which is OLHC. This around here next day opens, that's why not good of a structure here, but you could have easily framed it till this swing, right? Minimum the same day. And if I frame this daily candle on H4, now the intermediate time frame makes a bit more sense, just like how I did it here. Daily candle OLHC, intermediate time frame H4 H1, established low onto relevant POI, established low onto relevant POI. Looks similar to this, right? This image aligning with OLHC, this intermediate time frame image looks similar to this. Daily candle, daily OLHC, no established low formed. This is daily candles open. Price formed, established low below it into relevant key level, moves away from it. I will frame this intermediate time frame candle on the lower time frame. This would have been a minimum objective, this being the ultimate objective. I won't go on to the lower time frames. I am again and again telling, because I have given too many examples for framing lower time frame MMXL. So this higher time frame aligned with intermediate time frame was clear. What did I frame here? Daily candle, daily as my high time frame. How did I frame it? Using H4 and H1 intermediate time frame. यार गला ही सूख जा रहा है बत अब समझ English. Did you guys understand it? Did you understood? कोई नहीं, as long as separators by. Oh sorry. Let me use separators just as how I did it here, separating each high time frame candle, so that this each and every singular individual high time frame candles formation, we can see it differently, separately on the lower time frame and intermediate time frame. That's why this separator is marked here, so we can separately see how a individual high time frame candle is forming. That's the purpose of it, separators, so you can get the idea or logic how the high time frame candle is forming. 6 p.m. So this daily candle open here. You can use this, but I will use this as the relevant swing. Price form open low hits relevant key level below daily opening price. Below opening price. कहाँ गया? High resistance established low below opening price. High resistance established low, protected low below opening price. Price displacing away from it. You then frame intermediate time frame candles this and this aligned with high time frame singular individual candles profile OLHC or OHLC. This example was clear, I guess so. Moving on to the next example. इसको हटाओ पीछे. अब बस ये याद आ गया मेरे को कि सेपरेटर्स यूज करने थे. नाइस. नेक्स्ट एग्जांपल देखने को तो अब मैं यहाँ पे भी बता दूँ तुम्हें, पर ये तुम्हें समझ नहीं आएगी, मेरे को समझ आ जाएगी. ये भी तुम्हें समझ नहीं आएगी, मेरे को आ जाएगी, बट इसलिए मैं बिल्कुल सिंपल ऑफ द सिंपलेस्ट. अगर इसको H4 पे दिखाऊं मेरे को बड़ी मत समझ आएगी. अब तुम लोगों को डाउट ना पड़ जाए इसलिए ये मैं समझा नहीं रहा. You would be able to understand this, but let's be it. It's okay if few people can't understand, but you would be able to frame even complex days or hard days to frame when you put in much efforts. Okay, coming back to this day. और ली डेली कहाँ पे खत्म होते हैं. You people, if you can see, price hit a relevant opposing swing for the people in the mentorship. Relevant opposing swing, price displacing back inside. So either retracement, either reversal. Even if this move higher is a retracement, this being the objective. So objective here, displacing away from here, you wanna frame bullish candle. So open low high close to the objective. So you have a direction expectation for daily candle, open low high close. How would you confirm it? Using intermediate time frames. Let's get on to the intermediate time frames. Separators first. For the people in the mentorship, clear range high, clear range low. Price tags one end of the range, immediately displaces away from it. Align this with daily logic. Daily open low, no relevant level hit above, so open low. Candidate of established low below daily opening price, immediately displacing away from it. So established low of the day. Established low of the day from a relevant key level, price displacing away from it. High resistance, established low below daily opening price. Daily open. Open low, price immediately displacing away from it. So you then frame intermediate time frame candles which are in alignment with high time frame singular candles direction. Daily candle says most likely OLHC to this objective, this objective. So when the high time frame singular candles, individual candles profile is clear, you then frame intermediate time frames candles towards the objective. You then frame 10 a.m. You then frame this 11 a.m. You then frame this 12 a.m. You then frame this 1 a.m. until the objective is hit. I explained this in the first session, but you people weren't getting any logic behind it, but now you people are able to get the logic behind it as well, right? Now I used H1 or Orly 1 hour time frame as the intermediate time frame. We can use H4 as well. Let's get on to H4. This 6 a.m. manipulated this immediately showing displacement back inside frame. So daily open low into relevant level, price displacing away from it. So candidate of daily open low and established low has formed below daily opening price displacing away from it. You then frame intermediate time frame candles which are backed by high time frame candles profile. Intermediate time frame candles in the direction of high time frame singular candle. Which is the high time frame candle here? Daily. So daily direction or daily's profile is clear. Open low, price displacing away. This being the objective. So you then frame the intermediate time frame candle. 4 hours. So you then frame this H4 candle. 10 a.m. open low high. I won't go on to the low time frame for low time frame MMBM in here. There would be a low time frame MMBM in here. But you people are used to talking about the people in the mentorship. You people are used to frame low time frame MMXM. This session is just about making you comfortable with framing on intermediate time frame. So this intermediate time frame structure, making this high time frame candles OLHC OHLC makes much more sense after seeing these two examples. These two examples were framing daily OLHC. Next two examples would be framing H4 single candles direction. H4 candles OLHC or OHLC. Till now we were framing only one single candle, one single high time frame candle which was daily. Now we will be framing like just like this one single H4, and for H4 intermediate time frames are time frames lower than H4, H1, M30, M15. But were these two examples for the daily OLHC clear? थक गया छोटे भाई ओके हाँ थक गया नो वाटर वाटर है ही नहीं ना मेरे पास ऊपर जाना पड़ेगा सेशन छोड़ के okay, the examples for H4. Now, till now I was showing the high time frame as daily and how to frame it using intermediate time frames using H4 and H1. Now framing H4 singular candle using using intermediate time frames like H1, M30 and M15. Now where did the example on this here? This was an SMT with ES. As you people can see, this being an SMT and you being the stronger pair. So I would see this as a manipulation of a relevant swing, price displacing away from it. So I can frame continuation to the relevant opposing swing. Much clear, right? Continuation to the relevant opposing swing. So I am having an expectation of this candle being bullish till here. So if bullish, I do expect what? I do expect OLHC candle. So expectation for OLHC on H4, 10 a.m. OLHC, right? So how would you frame it? 10 a.m. OLHC, you have an expectation for singular high time frame candle which is 4 hour. How would you frame 4 hour? Using intermediate time frames like lower than H4, H1, M30, M15. So H1, H1 is bit good to me, but you people not be able to see that thing. M30 being the best time frame here. Let me put up the separators properly. Okay, now good. Relevant opposing objective there. So no established low. Let's remove this first. 10 m opens, goes higher, no established low, then comes lower, forms an established low into relevant level, relevant key level, which is this, then immediately displaces away from it, making you think 10 m open low into relevant level, displacement away from it. So 10 m open here, open low into relevant key level, which is this, immediate displacement away from it. I could frame this candle as well. If you are not able to frame this, you can frame the next intermediate time frame candles. Why? Because the high time frame candles low is established now and the high time frame candles profile is clear now. Open low into relevant key level, forming established low, protected low below opening price, immediately displacing away from it. So which profile is most likely to happen? Make this knowledge align with the objective. So ideally open low, high close. So OLHC and the high time frame candle profile is clear now. So you can then frame intermediate time frame candles towards the objective. This example look bit more like this. Open low into relevant level, price displacing away from it. You can either frame this candle as well, or after this candle confirms the high time frame candles profile, open low into relevant key level, established low formed below opening price, so high resistance below opening price. So OLHC high time frame candle, so framing intermediate time frame candles in that high time frame candle, framing intermediate time frame candles in that high time frame candle. 10 a.m. open low high towards that objective, relevant opposing swing. Open low into relevant key level, immediately displaces away. Displacement away is necessary. Key level is not that necessary. You only trust any key level when price tags it and immediately displaces away from it. Be it the best key level, if price is not showing me displacement away from it, I won't trust it. If price is showing this, I won't try to pick anything. If price comes, immediately displaces away from it, I would then frame continuation away from it. Price comes into it, immediately displaces away. I would frame continuation away from it, framing intermediate time frame candles which are being in alignment with the high time frame candles profile OLHC, framing in the high time frame candles direction OLHC 1 p.m. OLHC 1:30 p.m. OLHC towards the objective being intact, towards the open objective. This example was for framing singular H4 candle using intermediate time frame for H4, which could be 30 minutes, 15, or H1. Let's watch it on M15. Yes, this is clear to me on M15 as well. Mhm. So was this example clear to you guys? I I didn't get tiered out. So you don't wait for an intermediate time frame. Not necessarily. When I can frame an intermediate time frame candle and frame it while it being in alignment with the high time frame candle. See, this intermediate time frame is currently 30 minutes. I don't want to frame any 30 minute. If I don't want to frame this 30 minute, this 30 minute, this 30, if any 30 minute is not being in alignment with its specific single high time frame candle, which would be H4 in here. Once this candle starts to displace away from it and shows me the H4 candles logic open low displaces away from it, so I can think that this singular high time frame candle is most likely forming open low bullish candle. So then I want to frame intermediate time frame candles aligning with the high time frame candles idea, high time frame candles profile OLHC. So I want to frame intermediate time frames OLHC only when I have an idea of high time frame candles profile. When I have no idea of high time frame candles profile, I am not interested in participating any of 30-minute here. Got my point? A little bit. I would go on to low time frame here, here, here to frame entries. See, why I would not frame this entry? The risk reward or stop loss doesn't make sense to me. I would take low time intermediate time frame entries as well when the risk reward aligns. I am not doing all this for just 1.3 hour. So then I would frame these intermediate time frames aligning with high time frame singular candle direction, singular candle profile on the lower time frame. So three time frame being aligned. So makes sense. This example was clear. Let's get to the next one. Yes, two types of lows or highs are trusted or protected for me in a singular high time frame candle. I would teach that in depth when the entries part come. Now let's get to another example showing H4 as the high time frame and 30-minute H1 or M15 as the intermediate time frame. ये कैसे करी थी मैंने? मेरे को तो काइंड ऑफ समझ आ गई है, तुम लोगों को कैसे समझाऊंगा? डाउट में डाल देते हैं मेरे को तुम लोग, अगर ये स्वीप हुआ नहीं हुआ। हुआ तो है. This is SMT here, 6 p.m. 2 September. 6 p.m. 2 September. Okay, this is an SMT. अब ठीक है. So SMT with these relevant opposing swings, these unprotected highs, so I can see this as a manipulation. So framing to the opposing swings, opposing relevant swings. You could frame till here. I would frame till here. The people in the mentorship know why I would frame till here, but even though you were to frame till here, that's okay. Now, which are the high time frame candles expanding towards the draw? That was the first task. 2 a.m. I don't participate in London, so I mainly participate in 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. Those are the candles which are my edge basically. So 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. OHLC formation. Now, how I would use this singular candles OHLC on the intermediate and lower time frame to frame an entry. 6 a.m. OHLC towards this objective. How I would use H4 candles direction, H4 candles OHLC. So intermediate time frame would be H1, M30, M15. Let's get on to M30 और यार रिप्ले भी तो करना था, रिप्ले करा था मैंने, नहीं करा था. If you people are able to see, the daily candle is aligned as well. Nice. Or the weekly, I can say daily, weekly, use any. But we are using just the H4 now. H4 as the high time frame. So H4 as the high time frame. So framing H4 singular candle on the intermediate time frame. Let's see one time frame lower than this. Nice. You divine, क्या हाल है आपका, आइए आपका इंतजार है. So each H4 candle is being separated, so I can view each H4 candle separately. So we can see this H4. I should lower the candle. 10 कब रखी मैंने भाई, कुछ भी. Let's take it 3. Okay, this 6 a.m. open high, but how can I trust this 6 a.m. being an OHLC candle? I would profile this 6 a.m. on the intermediate time frame, which would be time frames lower than H4. I would profile this H4 candle, singular H4. I can see price open high, no relevant key level hit. This would be the relevant level for me. When price hits this, shows immediate displacement away from it, I can think this high time frame H4 candle is forming open high, relevant level hit, price displacing away from it. So I can think this H4 is most likely forming open high, then low. So OHLC candle. So I can frame it lower towards the objective. Towards the objective. So now that the high time frame singular candles profile is clear, I would then use only then use intermediate time frames to frame low time frame entry. So now, how would you frame entries? Framing this intermediate time frame candle 9 a.m. because this is being aligned with this H4 high time frame candles OHLC. So intermediate time frame candle being aligned with high time frame candles direction. So this being much more probable. So framing this 9 a.m. intermediate time frame candle, which is being which is in alignment with high time frame singular candle. So this OHLC is already backed and more validated by its high time frame. Its high time frame. 6 a.m. open high, relevant level, price immediately displaces away from it. 8 a.m. 9 a.m. new frame continuation OHLC away from this high. This high being an established high onto relevant PY, price displaces away from it. Right? Let's have a look on M30 and M15 as well. Not so much clear. M15, nice. This here I would frame M15 entry, which would be M15 would be intermediate time frame. Why? Because this stop makes sense for me. 43 point I can take this 43 point stop, and the objective being at least the minimum objective being more than 2 hours, and the main objective being around 4 hours, and the minimum objective being 2.5. So this is one of those, one of 100 or one of 10 of 100 cases, one of 10 we can say, where I will take directly entries on the intermediate time frame when the high time frame candles OHLC or OLHC align. I'm basically framing one singular high time frame candle every day. It could be H4, it could be daily, one of these two, and I will use the best time frame to frame it, be it the intermediate time frame itself, but most of the time, 9 times out of 10, the intermediate time frame's range is too large, like here. So I wouldn't prefer framing intermediate time frame directly here. Then I would use intermediate time frame single candle just like here and here to frame these on the lower time frame, because I know the high time frame candles profile is spotting OHLC which is aligned with my idea which I am framing on intermediate time frame. So not just these intermediate time frames confirmation on the low time frame by MMXM, but this high time frame confirmation as well. So three time frames being aligned, plus you are using phases of price, relevant swing, and the relevant objectives. This example was a bit more clear. Two examples for framing singular H4 candle and the first two examples for framing, यार मैंने post तो करी नहीं, and the first two examples were framing singular daily candle. So most of the time we don't get first stage entry, mostly I see those. You would need to work more on framing framing MMXM or learning MMXM, I will say. Most of the people didn't even knew what MMXM is before coming into the mentorship, but it's been only 1 week when I taught from my when I taught MMXM, and most of the people are able to frame the logic behind my entries as well and framing before me as well. This guy UD takes the same entries even before me. Mostly I see low risk by entry, particularly with H1 M5. I don't use just two time frames. I every day frame three time frames. One would be high time frame and two time frames lower would be in alignment with that singular high time frame. And that singular high time frame would always be either daily, either H4 candle every day for me. I would use the intermediate time frame and lower time frame to frame the best entry in that singular high time frame. That singular high time frame could be daily, could be H4. You can watch any of my position, take any of my position. There would be three time frame approach in each one. Undertaker Joe. See his entry is yesterday. Yesterday था ना? हाँ, yesterday was Friday. Let's top it. Let's do a top down. यूट्यूब है, मेरा वाईफाई भी मस्त है या आपकी फोटोज ही ऐसी हैं? मेरा वाईफाई मस्त है। प्लीज डोंट डू दिस टू मी। So nice Wi-Fi you are. Please. So my Wi-Fi doesn't allow me watching your device entries. Okay. What I can do is switch the network and then come back. Yes, we can do. ब्यूटी भाई आपने मेरा नेट खराब कर दिया यार। अब okay. So see, he was framing first of all a singular daily candle. Okay, daily candle to the relevant draws. First thing is direction of a singular candle. Which side should a singular high time frame candle, either H4 either daily, which side should it expand and till where? That is what my model teaches at first, or what my mentorship teaches. That framing intermediate time frame candles towards that objective. Once the daily candles direction is confirmed, framing intermediate time frame candles H4 H1 10 a.m. 6 a.m. Now, if you want to frame these H4 as your single high time frame candle, either 6 a.m. either 10 a.m. I guess UDY framed 10 a.m. as singular H4 candle, as singular high time frame candle, which was H4. How would you profile that? By intermediate time frame. H1 being the profiling time frame for intermediate time frame, 9 a.m. hitting the relevant key level, displacing a bit away from it, 10 a.m. properly displacing away from it. So this being the objective, this becomes the objective. He wrote the phases of price delivery explanation as well. You can read it if you want to. Now using M15 as the intermediate time frame to profile or to get on side with the upcoming expansion. This hits the relevant key level, displaces away from it. UDY framed entry around 9:30, which comes inside 6 a.m. H4 candle. 6 a.m. still being not completed. 6 a.m. is there till 9:59, and new candle opens on 10 a.m. 6 a.m. H4. So 6 a.m.'s direction, 6 a.m. profiling. High of the day, high of the 6 a.m. candle H4 is confirmed. Framing continuation away from it. चलना यार. Relevant key level being it, price displacing away from it. 9 a.m. framing intermediate time frame candles. 9 a.m. on the lower time frame 15, just like how I did for H4, he did for H1. H1 as high time frame, framing it on the time frames lower. 15, 9 a.m. displaces tags relevant level and displaces away from it. He framed it his entry on this intermediate time frame candle 9:30 using lower time frame MMBM SMR, low risk intermediate term high. I took entry here, he took entry here, and we didn't know that we took same entry. That's the point. Even without knowing what are we looking for, we didn't even talk yesterday, and we both were looking for same idea, and we both took the same 1 minute and took this same this closure. Even though I took it here as well on YM, 4 hour here and some 2 hour around there. He didn't trail. I took out full here till here. I took my full till this relevant swing, and when the bias my idea gets confirmed by 10 a.m. 10 a.m. H4 high time frame candle, I then frame these high time frame candles towards the objective. Or this, I don't exactly remember. He took it here with executions. See, this was SMR, low risk, intermediate time high, first stage, second stage, and this being the execution. I took the exact same setup, and the thing is, we both didn't even knew we are looking at the same asset. We are looking in the same direction. That's the good thing. That no signal botting type thing, but making people independent. Teach a man how to fish, like thing. 6 a.m. H4 OHLC, 9 a.m. intermediate time frame candle. Framing one high time frame candle and using intermediate time frame to frame it. See, same entry on the M1, same relevant level, but I was just framing till here, because I wasn't sure if price wants to go till here. I did had marked it, but I wasn't sure. But when price did show me YM had better structure, then I framed singular high time frame candle, be it H4 10 a.m., be it daily. And then how did I use profiling? Using intermediate time frame, 10:15 and 10 a.m. told me 10 a.m. is an OHLC candle, so I framed 10:30 intermediate time frame of this H4 higher time frame. I say 10 a.m. Immediately moving away from these, displacing away. This also displacing away. So I framed entries in this intermediate time frame candle on the lower time frame till this range low. This being the lower time frame, 10:30 open high. Once the open high is confirmed, OH, I took my entry and then framed it till there, till the main objective. This was my Friday's position. How do I frame it? I had the expectation for one singular high time frame candle, which is 10 a.m. H4, H4 being OHLC. How did I confirm this OHLC idea? Using intermediate time frame, which is M15 for me here. M15 displacing away from these highs. 10 next M15 as well displacing away. This being the relevant level, which told me price shouldn't come back above it and should form true breakout, because I took partials or I took my full TP here on ES, if you guys remember, right? Because I was concerned about this level, that this could form or make price go higher. But relevant swings can form two things, either above them or below them, either manipulation, either true breakout. When I saw true breakout, I then again framed it lower. This true breakout thing is also taught in depth in my mentorship, but I can't teach each and every concept in just one session. But yes, makes sense. How was today's session? And if this is enough, or I should give a better overview or explain any doubts if you people have, or I should post examples and then wrap up the session. Or if you guys have any doubts, ask kindly. पानी पीना है यार जल्दी. छोड़ूंगा तो नहीं आपको, आपके लिखने से पहले करूंगा. Okay. So what should be today's task? You डिवाइस थोड़ा मदद करें. आज का टास्क क्या पोस्ट होना चाहिए? हाँ, फ्रेम हाई टाइम फ्रेम सिंगुलर कैंडल्स यूजिंग इंटरमीडिएट टाइम फ्रेम, है ना? पर उसके लिए मेरे को भी तो एग्जांपल डालनी पड़ेगी. हाँ ठीक है. फ्रेम I shouldn't give the task of framing low time frame, just high time frame and intermediate time frame, right? Mark out frame high time frame candles OLHC OHLC from the relevant key level using intermediate time frame profiling, है ना? Should I give the examples while live streaming or should I hop off the session and then post them after?
मैं आपको थोड़ा टाइम देना है, रेस्ट करना है तो बाद में दे सकता हूँ।
मैं
हाँ
अभी
वही
भी दे
टास्क
सकता हूँ, पर
मतलब
5-10 मिनट ही लगेंगे। अब पूरे सुबह से बैठा हूँ तो 10 मिनट और भी बैठ सकता हूँ।
रिकॉर्डिंग करके कर आप
नहीं यार, थोड़ा रेस्ट करोगे 5-10 मिनट, रिकॉर्डिंग स्टॉप करके बाद में अपलोड कर सकते हैं।
पर रिकॉर्डिंग में ही एग्जाम्पल पोस्ट करूंगा तो बेटर होगा, है ना?
इस भाई इसको बोलने नहीं आना होता, करना है ना खुद ही आ जाना चाहिए।
First I should give the daily examples, right? डेली वन यार, मैंने वही हटा दिए अपने बॉक्सेस। अब मेरे को पता कैसे चलेगा कहाँ कहाँ थे एग्जाम्पल? काश मैंने लाइंस ना हटाई हैं। एक है इधर, अभी इसमें से कौन सा है? यहाँ हो सकता है। नो, दिस इज इन द वन। भूल गए हो, भूल गए हो अपन तो भूल। यहाँ पे है, यस, मिल गया। डेली पे ये वाला बेटर था? नहीं, तुम लोगों के लिए ये बेटर होगा। थक गए हो, बड़ा ज्यादा थक गए हो। Framing Monday's daily candle OLHC, or I should mark it as Monday OLHC. It would be much clear for you guys. Monday being showing this is a daily candle, OLHC telling OLHC candle. Okay, just high time frame from the relevant key level to the objective. Relevant level being this, objective being this candle being in continuation. चलो एक बोझ तो उतरा सिर से आज। यूट्यूब भाई 10-12 बंदे एकदम कम हो गया है नहीं, 22-23 से। इतने चोर बंदे होते
सेशन खत्म हो गया ना इसीलिए।
हैं, चोर बंदे होते हैं, चोर। और मेरा दिमाग बिल्कुल नहीं चलता, सुबह से बैठा हूँ मैं।
इसीलिए तो यार थोड़ा रेस्ट करो, पानी तो पी के आओ 2 मिनट।
मेरे को करने दो अब अच्छे से। अब सोते सोते करूँ, मरते मरते करूँ, करके जाऊँगा एक बार। using कौन सा टाइम फ्रेम यूज किया था मैंने, H1 और H4. I could use both, but prefer using H1 here. And separating each high time frame candle which you are framing is a must. Using separators, like I am framing the daily candle here, singular daily candle, so I would separate each daily candle out on the intermediate time frame, so I can get an idea of, इसको ठीक करना पड़ेगा, so I can get an idea of singular high time frame candles formation on the intermediate time frames as well. I can see open, low, move away, right, relevant level being hit. Now framing this intermediate time frame candles away from the established low of the higher time frame candle. If bullish, then you wanna frame positions away from low of the candle. If bearish, you wanna frame positions away from the high of the candle. Like bearish candles from OHLC. So you wanna, when you can trust the high of the OHLC candle, so you wanna frame entries away from it. When you can trust the low of the OLHC candle, bullish candle, so you wanna frame entries away from it. When you can trust this as the low of an high time frame OLHC candle, you wanna frame entries away from it. But how can you trust it and frame entries away from it? Only once it has hit a proper relevant key level and has shown displacement away from it as well. And then you wanna frame away from it towards the objective. That's what the definition said. वो तो ठीक है, ये क्या हो गया? ये सारे आगे क्यों हो गए? सर ये क्या चक्कर हो रहा है? यहाँ पे हो गया? यहाँ पे है, ठीक है. क्योंकि मैंने ये सब कुछ में से कुछ नहीं पोस्ट कर रहा अभी, इसलिए वापस आया हूँ. तो मेरे को याद आ गया. See, after price hits relevant key level, displaces away from it, only then you wanna frame away from it. When price hits a relevant key level, displaces away from it, only then you wanna frame entries away from it. When you can trust this. Vice versa for any singular high time frame candle as well. You wanna frame entries, if OLHC candle, you wanna frame entries away from the low of the candle only when you can trust this low of the candle. This low of the candle, this high time frame candle on the intermediate time frame hits a relevant key level, displaces away from it. So you wanna frame away from this low of this high time frame OLHC candle. Take entries around here in this intermediate time frame candle on the lower time frame. May confuse, but when you do it repeatedly, it will make much more sense. This is the low of this intermediate time frame as well, this higher time frame singular candle, and price hits the relevant key level, displaces away from it. You wanna frame entries away from it in the high time frame OLHC candle, and you can trust this low of the high time frame candle. You wanna frame entries away from it, continuation entries away from it towards the objective. Vice versa for next candle, OLHC high time frame candle, you wanna frame entries away from this low of the candle once you can trust this low of this singular high time frame candle. That's why we use two time frames for profiling, one for profiling and sometimes for entry as well. But low time frame ever ready for entry. Profiling this singular high time frame on intermediate time frame. Price hits relevant key level, displaces away. Now you can trust this low of this singular high time frame candle. So you can frame entries away from this low of this singular high time frame candle. This while looked on low time frame looks like this. Relevant level, price displaces away. You then frame these continuation entries away from what? Away from this blue low, which is low of this singular higher time frame candle. That's why I have separately marked these lows as blue and these as red, because these are continuation entries, framing these away from the low of singular higher time frame candle when you can trust this low. This made much more sense. So the people who left wouldn't have got the advantage of the thing which I just explained. Haha. ये वाली मस्त थी ना यूट्यूब जो अभी बताया. I would need to post this, but I forgot the order. This should have been the first. What should be the title? Candlesticks. Too exhausted. No problem. एग्जाम्पल पहले डालने लग गया था, मेरा इतना क्या दिमाग पागल हो गया भाई यार. Candlesticks. I will need to have a look. How did I explain the previous concepts? How did I start? Exam. Okay, candlesticks. No. I would need to look at phases of price. How did I start the phases? Just like how I did start candlestick logic, retracement. So expansion, phases of price, candlesticks. Okay, I will need to have a look. कहीं तो भेजा था मैंने. I will need to turn my screen. कहाँ गया यूट्यूब भाई? आपके पास वो पड़ा है? Which
Yeah.
continuation? This continuation is just on the lower time frame. I can't trust this high as the high of this high time frame candle. This is not even the high time frame. This is the intermediate time frame. The high time frame here is H1 or H4. I can't trust this high with H4 logic. That's why I didn't take it. यूट्यूब भाई, वो तो भेजो. आपने कहीं गैंग में भेजा था ना शायद, फॉरवर्ड करा था जो मैंने कहा था ये टास्क बचे हैं अब मेंटरशिप के लिए. याद है ना आपको?
कौन सा?
यार मैंने वो सारा लिख के नहीं भेजा था कि ये चीज बची है अभी मेंटरशिप में कि
ओ वो आपने स्क्रीनशॉट डाला था ना आपका?
हाँ गैंग में भेजा होगा,
हाँ,
फॉरवर्ड
नहीं,
फॉरवर्ड
नहीं है,
करना है
मैं
जिस
इसमें चैट में है। 1 सेकंड, 20 चैट में 1 सेकंड।
गैंग में भी
क्या
भेजा,
था
आपने
वो?
फॉरवर्ड करा है, मेरे को पता है।
मैंने?
हाँ ध्यान से देखो गैंग में। मैं चैट में देखता हूँ, आप गैंग में देखो, क्योंकि गैंग में नहीं खोल सकता।
चैट में तो मेरे को पता है, आप फायर सर्च करो, क्योंकि आपने कहा था MMXM सेशन इज गोइंग टू बी फायर ना, उसके 1-2 मैसेज ऊपर ही है वो। तो, अच्छा है। मैंने कुछ, हाँ ये वाला, मुझे तो ये लगता है।
भेजना भेजना।
इस पे है, स्टेज पे, स्टेज का चैट देखना भाई, 1 सेकंड।
हाँ ये ठीक है। कैंडलस्टिक
यस,
लॉजिक,
तो ये चैट में था।
OLHC OHLC, एक्सपेंशन लॉजिक कैंडल। मेरे को क्या ये सब लिखना चाहिए कैंडलस्टिक लॉजिक में अभी, या जब जब समझाऊंगा तभी? क्योंकि मेरे को लग रहा है मैं 4 नहीं 3 सेशन लूंगा, EQ लॉजिक रिवर्सल कंटिन्यूएशन एंट्रीज में ही डाल दूंगा शायद। शायद पता नहीं है मेरे को, वो जब प्रिपेयर करने पे आऊंगा तब। एक्सपेंशन और लार्ज वीक के लिए तो सेपरेटली लूंगा, यस।
यस,
EQ लॉजिक के लिए सेपरेटली सेशन नहीं लेना चाहिए मेरे हिसाब से, इसी में डाल दूंगा,
वो एंट्रीज में, यस।
है ना?
यप। हम्म।
तो कैंडलस्टिक लॉजिक लिखता हूँ, फिर लिखता हूँ OHLC एक्सपेंशन लॉजिक रिवर्सल कंटिन्यूएशन। ये मैसेज कहीं पे लिखा था, वो मेरे को मैसेज फॉरवर्ड करना था ताकि मैं कॉपी मारूं यार। आप लोगों ने फोटो फॉरवर्ड मार दी।
ये मैसेज आपने, आपका जो पर्सनल है ना DM, वहाँ पे किसी को करा होगा,
अच्छा ठीक ठीक, वो वाला।
क्योंकि ये किसी और को नहीं करा आपने, रिमेम्बर।
तो मेरे को सारा टाइप करना पड़ेगा, टू नाइस। और एक गंदे
नहीं,
बच्चे
उसको
हो।
कॉपी कर सकते हैं क्या? 1 सेकंड, इमेज टू टेक्स्ट कुछ सर्च करके देखता हूँ, 2 मिनट।
चालू बंदे हो
इमेज
भाई यार।
टू,
ओ मैं ऐसे भी
और
तो
नहीं तो क्या है यार?
कॉपी कर सकता हूँ यार, आप क्या बंदे हो, आपको पता ही नहीं, कुछ कर भी लिया मैंने कॉपी।
क्या करें? कोई नहीं।
अब मेरे को बताओ कि क्या। हाँ ठीक है।
1 मिनट, मेरा पिंग फिर से बहुत खराब है, मेरे को आपका स्क्रीन ही नहीं दिख रहा, मैं रीजन करूंगा।
Second would be, what was the second topic? I should turn off the screen recording, I guess. Yes, I would post the examples later on and would post the task. So the people watching the screen recording in future should look up in this edu section and the task section for the task and for the, or for the examples and these images. Okay, bye bye.